Hi there. Now, my name is Sandra, and I'm a mom. I'm a 30-year-old who has three kids. I have a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 3-month-old. Now, the reason I'm making these videos is because I've been watching a lot of people debating on many different subjects. But what I've noticed is that nobody's actually getting the full story. So, with that being said, I decided, why not go ahead and share with everybody what it's like to live in a country where your health and the way that you are perceived, it's a lot different and it doesn't get the full story. So with that being said, I wanted to discuss some of the things that are going on. Now, as we all know, a certain person is President of the United States, and I'm not here to try to bash or go against or anything like that. Just want to show that, some of the decisions that are being made right now as I speak are going to affect a lot of people. The people that are going to affect are people with pre-existing conditions, immigrants, women, and even men too, believe it or not. And as me being 3 out of 4, I decided, show you a little bit what we're talking about when I say get the full story. So, my first part of the explanation on what is going on right now is on pre-existing conditions. As a person with a pre-existing condition, I can explain to you that it's not easy to see people making decisions on something that can affect me, my health, how long I live, stuff like that. What is my condition? I have something called atrial fibrillation. What that is for all of you who don't know what that specific heart condition is. So you have a heart, or most people have a heart, and on the inside your heart you have 4 chambers. Your 2 atriums and 2 ventricles. Now, if you weren't paying attention in science class because you were looking at the cutie next to you, I can explain this a little further. Atriums and your ventricles receive blood and pump it back into your body. And how it does it is your heart muscles have little electrodes, like your heart gets zapped. Basically, normally your heart will pump. So this is your heart. It'll pump in the top, your atriums, and then your ventricles. Okay? For people like me, our heart doesn't pump as a normal pump. Mine is not pump. For me, my atriums are just sitting there vibrating. Instead of my heart having a regular heartbeat, my atriums are just sitting there vibrating like this. And when that happens, blood pools on the atriums, the top of my heart, and just sits there. So my heart doesn't know what to do with all this blood, and it just sits there vibrating. And then my ventricles, when they see my atriums vibrating, my ventricles immediately start thinking, oh, we're running, we're going fast. So it'll try to pick up the pace that my atriums are setting. At that point, I will go into arrhythmia or imbalanced heartbeat. The biggest worry about a condition like this is when your blood pools in only one area of your heart, you develop blood clots. And a lot of people know this could lead to strokes. Okay? Now, the funny part about atrial fibrillation is most people that get it are over the age of 50. Like I said before, I'm a 30-year-old. This condition was found when I was pregnant with my 3-month-old. I was 5 months pregnant with her, and I ended up going to the hospital because I was having very bad heart pain, palpitations, and it was to the point point where on top of my skin you could actually see my heart trying to beat properly, but it couldn't. It was just vibrating. So you could actually see it above my skin. I am thankful that I was pregnant, because if I hadn't been pregnant, and I know it's gonna sound a little weird, but if I hadn't been pregnant, it hadn't caused my heart to beat so fast, I would have never known, and that I would have to go to the hospital. The only reason I went to the hospital when it happened was because I was at the time carrying another life. If I hadn't been pregnant, I was told I could have gone into cardiac arrest because my heartbeat was at 189 beats per minute, BPMs. To put this in perspective, a regular heartbeat should be between 60 to 70 BPMs. When you reach 90 BPMs, you are already considered tachycardic, meaning you need to go to the hospital and they need to start trying to slow down your heart. Or if you take heart medicine, you need to go ahead and run and take your medicine. Now, I was at 189. At that point, my heart was beating so fast, there was really not that much time to wait. By the time I got to the hospital and they found my rhythm was completely out of control, they did try to slow it down. Unfortunately, my heart did go up to 200 BPMs before they finally got it to go down. And yes, the baby was fine. She's doing great. The heart medicine that I take are beta blockers, which is something that most people with my heart condition and high blood pressure take, and it's to slow down your heart. Right now, the lowest that I've gone is 70, which is good. It's the range that I should be. Because of my age, I do have 3 doctors that see me. I have a nurse that calls me once a month to make sure I am taking care of myself. And I also have a lot still to go. The next steps are going to be the hardest for me. I'm going to have a heart monitor for 14 days so that doctors can find where the arrhythmia or the atrial fibrillation is being affected, so that they can later on go in with a catheter ablation. We will discuss that later, but now that you know what my personal pre-existing condition is, you know that I actually can give you a little bit of an insight on what's going on. Why is it so important for so many decisions to be made correctly for people like me? When my condition was found at the hospital, I did get seen by one cardiologist who will remain on me. He made many of the decisions on what kind of medicine I was going to take, how much doses, would it affect my baby, how would it affect her. And I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and during this time he made all the decisions. He made all the calls. My OB was always consulting him, and once I got out, in the discharge papers that tell you go ahead and make an appointment for a follow-up. When I made my appointment for the follow-up with this specific cardiologist, at that point he denied seeing me. Okay, so we're talking about a doctor that made all the decisions up to the point where I got out of the hospital. And that's where it got scary, because not only did I have to care for me, I had to care for a child that was waiting for me to keep her alive, to keep her going. So because of his one denial, I got turned away by 6 other cardiologists, only for the fact that I was pregnant. That was it. That was the only reason they were denying me. It was scary. It was terrifying. So with that, can you imagine that happened happened before the new president took over, and he's trying to make it so that pre-existing conditions are not going to be covered. This is before, when pre-existing conditions were being covered. I got turned down by 6 doctors who didn't care if me or my child could live, just because they didn't want it in their record if something were to happen to me. Now, can you imagine if these pre-existing conditions get passed? That's going to be horrible for a lot of people, where doctors and insurance companies can just say, no thank you, I'm not going to cover you, I'm not going to help you. This is going to affect way too many people. And you know, I have seen a few posts, a few pictures of, with the hashtag I am a pre-existing condition, and I feel that we are trying to show what it's like, but nobody seems to understand. And I've seen so much negativity, and I've seen so much bad, sad comments that that's what pushed me to bringing this to you and showing you that, you know, people with pre-existing conditions, they're not just trying to get by and trying to, you know, take away from taxes and whatnot. We're trying to live. We're trying to survive. I am trying to be here for my children. What's next? What am I gonna be doing in the future, and what are we gonna talk about? Well, next, I'm gonna go ahead and take everyone into my own personal journey, and I'm gonna show you what I go through. My next step is I am weaning down my medicine. I am taking 2 heart pills a day. I used to be taking 3 pills a day, but I'm starting to go down on my dosage of my heart medicine. My cardiologist that I finally found, that he does see me, and he's a great cardiologist. He would like for me to start living a little bit more steady life without needing medicine so much. And so we are going to go down to 1 pill a day, hopefully. And then the next step is for me to have a heart monitor that I have to pick up, of course, that I have to pay for, of course. And I have to learn how to work this monitor. I'm not gonna have a nurse with me the whole time. And they're gonna monitor me for 14 days, so hopefully I'll be able to show you that. And I'm also gonna be touching other subjects that I feel that I can give an insight on. I'm hoping to make this more frequent, once a week a video, hopefully. And you know, we'll see how it goes. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I will open the comments, and you know, let's keep this as positive as possible. And like I said, I'm not here to put anyone down. I'm not here to make it a political kind of journey. I just want to show you that, you know, it could happen to anyone, and I'm just showing you what's happening on my side of this spectrum. So if you want to get any notifications when I put up a new video, please hit the subscribe button. Also hit the little bell that you see, and you'll get, as soon as I add a new video, you'll get a notification. And hopefully we'll all just take this journey together. Okay? Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and you know, let's see how far we can go with this.